My name is Sarah Jenkins, and I believe in hard work. For 3 years, it was all I had. I was the first one in, the last one out, and the one who built my company from the ground up, all with the promise of a promotion. But that promise was a lie. My boss, Mr. Thompson, and my colleague, Natica Tom, were too busy building something else, a twisted, secret affair behind his family's back. They overlooked my dedication, publicly humiliated me, and whispered jokes while I was in the same room. But what they didn't know was that I wasn't just working for a promotion. I was collecting evidence, and their corporate Christmas party was about to become the stage for a truth bomb that would shatter their lives and give me everything I had earned. If you've ever been passed over for a promotion you deserved, you'll understand the fire that fueled me. Tell me in the comments below, where are you watching this from? And if you want to see how I exposed their hypocrisy and claimed my rightful place, hit like and subscribe for a story of corporate betrayal and ultimate revenge. Before the earth shattered beneath my feet at that Christmas party, my life at the Boston office felt like a relentless uphill battle fought with invisible chains. I was a senior project manager, consistently exceeding expectations, the reliable backbone of our department. My work ethic was not just a point of pride, it was my identity. I was the first one in, often the last to leave, fueled by a genuine passion for the company's success and a clear vision for my future there. That future, I believed, was the director of operations role. Mr. Thompson, my boss, had initially fostered that belief. His feedback was encouraging, his trust in my abilities seemingly unwavering as he assigned me the company's most challenging and high-stakes projects. I poured my heart and soul into each one, confident that my dedication would be recognized and rewarded with the promotion I had diligently worked towards, but then Natica Tom arrived, a junior project manager with a polished exterior but, frankly, a rather underwhelming work ethic. Yet, suddenly, the dynamics shifted. The promotion, once seemingly within my grasp, became shrouded in vague corporate jargon about restructuring and reassessing strategic priorities. Simultaneously, Natica became the office darling. Despite consistently missing deadlines and contributing little of substance in meetings, she was inexplicably elevated. She was assigned to key projects I had pioneered, her name inexplicably appearing on reports I had painstakingly crafted. The most galling part was the subtle, insidious way Mr. Thompson and Natica began to belittle my contributions. During team meetings, my ideas would be met with dismissive nods from them, only for Natica to rephrase them moments later and receive enthusiastic praise from Mr. Thompson. There were whispered jokes and knowing glances exchanged between them. Across the conference table, glances that always seemed to land on me, leaving me feeling like an outsider, a fool for believing in hard work and loyalty. The humiliation wasn't just passive. I remember one particularly crucial presentation for a major client. I had spent weeks preparing, the data was solid, the strategy innovative. As I presented, Mr. Thompson openly checked his phone, barely making eye contact. When I finished, Natica chimed in with a few superficial questions, which Mr. Thompson lauded as insightful, completely ignoring the depth of my work. Later that day, during lunch in the crowded cafeteria, Mr. Thompson loudly joked to a group of colleagues about someone, and it was clear he meant me, still stuck in the weeds, while others were thinking strategically. Natica laughed a little too hard, her eyes meeting mine with a smug, almost pitying look. The message was clear: I was being deliberately undermined, my efforts belittled, my ambition mocked. This wasn't just about a promotion, it was about being publicly diminished, made to feel insignificant within the very environment I had poured my energy into. The injustice of it all was a bitter poison, but it was the cruel discovery of Mr. Thompson's personal life that solidified my resolve for something far beyond simply getting my job back. I accidentally overheard a tearful phone call in the stairwell between another manager and his wife. They were discussing the heartbreaking reality of Mr. Thompson's youngest child's battle with cancer. His wife, Sarah, was apparently exhausted, overwhelmed, trying to be both mother and father while Mr. Thompson was emotionally and physically absent. He was a ghost in his own home, his priorities twisted, his focus entirely consumed by Natica. The stark contrast between his carefully crafted public persona as a devoted family man and the callous reality of his neglect was sickening. This wasn't just about my career, it was about the profound betrayal of his own family, a betrayal facilitated by the very colleague who was profiting from my hard work. The personal and professional lines blurred, and my quiet resentment ignited into a righteous fury. I knew then that my revenge wouldn't just be about reclaiming what was rightfully mine. It would be about exposing the truth and shattering the carefully constructed facade of Mr. Thompson and Natika's deceitful world. The company Christmas party, with its veneer of forced festivity, became my target, the perfect stage for a long overdue reckoning. My secret mission began with meticulous care. I started working late, staying after everyone had left. I discovered that Mr. Thompson and Natika would frequently meet in a back office, their late-night work sessions an open secret. I installed a small, undetectable camera in a potted plant in the corner of the room. I downloaded their shared calendars from a network folder I knew how to access. I even got a hold of their company credit card statements, filled with charges for lavish dinners and out-of-town trips. The evidence was damning. It painted a vivid picture of a long-term, expensive, and deeply inappropriate relationship. My grief over the lost promotion transformed into a cold, hard determination. I was no longer just an ambitious employee, I was a witness, an executioner of truth. The night of the Christmas party arrived, a swirl of forced cheer, tacky decorations, and free-flowing champagne. Mr. Thompson was there with his wife, who looked tired and worn, a faint worry etched onto her face. Natika, dressed in a stunning red dress, stayed close to his side all night, her eyes nervously darting around the room. The moment for Mr. Thompson to announce the new director of operations came. The room went quiet. He took the stage, a microphone in his hand, a smug look on his face. He began to speak about loyalty and dedication, all the empty virtues he had ignored. I felt my heart race. I was holding a remote in my hand, connected to the large projector screens that were displaying a slideshow of company highlights. And so, he announced, "It is with great pride that I announce the new director of operations, Natika Tom." He gestured for her to come to the stage. As Natika began her walk toward the stage, her face a mask of triumph. I pressed the button on my remote. The company logo on the screens vanished, replaced by a devastating slideshow of text messages, shared calendars, credit card receipts, and candid photos and videos of Mr. Thompson and Natika in the back office. The room erupted in gasps. Mr. Thompson's wife, her face pale with shock, stared at the screen. Natika froze mid-step, her eyes wide with horror. Mr. Thompson himself stumbled, dropping the microphone with a loud thud. The projector screens didn't lie. They told a story of a boss who abused his power, a colleague who was promoted for all the wrong reasons, and a man who abandoned his family in their darkest hour. In that moment, my silence became my greatest strength. I didn't need to say a word. The truth, in all its ugly, undeniable detail, spoke for itself. The aftermath was a whirlwind. Mr. Thompson was fired the next day, and Natika was escorted out by security. The company board, needing a new leader and wanting to contain the PR nightmare, looked to the person who had been doing the work all along. The person with the vision, the dedication, and the track record to lead the department. They looked at me. A week later, I was offered the promotion I had always deserved. I didn't just get my job back, I got his job. I walked into his old office. The new director of operations, a position earned not just through hard work, but through a cold, hard dose of justice. My revenge wasn't loud or vengeful. It was simply the truth, and the undeniable consequence of a lie.